Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gibbo the Shaman, and today we're talking about the Atmakarka. So today we're going to be talking about the Atmakarka in the second house. So that means the planet that is in the highest degree. So if you look at your chart and you see the planets placements, you look at the degree placements and see which one is in the highest degree in your whole entire chart, your D1 birth chart, and just see what is the highest degree. So, and then you look where that's placed. So what house is that placed in? So that's how we figure this out. Alright, so second house. Well, I guess I should talk about what the Atmakarka is first. So the Atmakarka is the planet that is the soul significator. Atma means soul, and Karka means significator. So the Atmakarka is the soul significator. Now, you're probably saying, okay, well, what does that mean? It means actually that this is one of the main planets that shows you why you came to this earth and your soul's desire and things that you need to accomplish in this life. And it's not so much need to accomplish, but you want to accomplish. There's like a passion there, a desire there that needs to get fulfilled. And So this can tie into your work life, your play life, whatever it is, marriage, in whatever house it ties into, it affects. So that area of life. So, all right. So Atmakarka in the second house. So if your Atmakarka is placed in the second house in your birth chart, that means that you came here to deal with money, to deal with finance, luxury, family. Second house deals with finances, inheritance, savings, things like that. It's like your long-term wealth and long-term savings. And it's also what you do to achieve that wealth, to attain that wealth. It is the career. It can have to do with the career. It doesn't always have to, but yeah, it can. Second house is arts, beauty, it's speech. So it's basically like it's on the body, it's like your throat and your vocal cords, things like that. And so it's very much involved with those kinds of things, like So the third house is actually the house of communication. This is like what you say. This is what, like, the quick communication. However, second house is the house of your speech. So are you going to have fast speech, slow speech, somewhere in the middle? Is it going to have any kind of debilitation or inhibition or inability, things like that? It's like a stutter can be seen from the second house. Now, the thing with the Atmakarka being in the second house is that this is your strongest planet. This is the one planet that's telling you this is what your soul wants to do. This is what your soul wants to achieve, wants to accomplish. So, just know that it has to do with areas of life pertaining to family, pertaining to wealth, inheritance, pertaining to luxury, beauty, art, things like that. It's very Taurus energy. So when you think about the second house, you can think about the sign of Taurus. And even though you might not be an Aries ascendant with Taurus in the second house energy is still that of Taurus. So we might get into, Atmakaraka through the signs, but right now we're just doing houses. So anyway, let's get into it. So let's see. So if your Atmakaraka is the sun in the second house as the Atmakaraka is basically, it is a desire for, authority, leadership, power, inspiration, all to do with the second house. So for example, you might want to be a banking authority or a monetary authority working for government. That could be your thing if your sun is your Atmakaraka in your second house. Sun represents government, sun represents leadership authority. Also, you will have a, you might have this authority over, being a financial authority. Like, for example, someone, you might be who others turn to for financial advice. You might be like, what is that lady's name? Susie Orman or something like that. Just like very financially savvy and with long-term investments and things like that. And you might be a source of, of like, being like a counselor to other people, like a financial counselor or something like that. So yeah, there's definitely that second house energy there. And with the sun here, it kind of gives you, it does give you some power, some success, things like that over this, over, your finances and things like that. So very cool stuff there. All right, now let's see. If your moon is your Atmakaraka and it is placed in the second house, then we have what's called an emotional spender. We have an emotional spender, moon being emotions, second house being the house of luxury and wealth and luxury items, beauty, art, things like that. So when you're not feeling so well, you might just have an impulse to just go buy something. Now, with that being in your second house, it probably, a lot of people just buy junk, most people just buy junk, but with you, it would be more like, oh, I want to go buy a, Louis Vuitton handbag or like some luxury item, a new pair of Cartier glasses or something like that. So, there's different things like that. So the moon represents mother, family, home, nourishment, emotions, and sensitivity. So moon in the second house is actually pretty good with that. So the things that they have in common, mother. So the fourth house is the natural house of the mother. However, 11th from the fourth house is the second house, meaning that it is the gains of the mother. So your inheritance, this is your long-term savings, your wealth that comes from your mother and your family. So With the moon being here, we see a common theme of family. You might enjoy like spending time with family, or you might have a family business or something like that. Nourishment. Second house is the house of nourishment. Why? Because it's the first from the first. It is, second from the first. It is basically nourishing the body. So it is, remember I said second house is the house that pertains to the throat and the mouth and throat area, representing speech, but also representing that nourishment. So what is nourishment? Nourishment can be the the long-term income, the accumulation of all your wealth and income. So yeah, that's nourishment. That's how you feed your family with money, and that's how you feed yourself and take care of yourself and nourish yourself, is with cash. It's like a lot of people use cash, and just cash is like money is just a symbol of resources, just a symbol of nourishment and things like that. So and then we have Mars here. So we'll move on to Mars. And so if you have Mars in the second house as your Atmakarka, then sorry, I'm just trying to get water. So if you have Mars in the second house as the Atmakarka, then Mars is masculine, aggressive, competitive, soldier, inspiration, ambition, drive. So if you have Mars in the second house, you can be very driven toward material gains. So you can work hard, you can work very hard towards your material gains, and you can very much like that, you can take pleasure in actually having that passion, going to war towards to fight for your income and things like that. So Mars as that is a fighter, a warrior, and essentially he is going toward like building generational wealth and things like that. So in the second house, it's kind of an odd placement for him. He's not feeling too comfortable here because Venus should be here, but yeah, it's not bad. There's a fight for resources and money and things like that, and that's really good. Like, someone could be very passionate in their career and could attain high status in their career because of this passion, like, that drives them. Like, I have to earn more money for my family, I have to fight for this, and even the thing about providing value to the company. Someone with Mars in the second house could be very valuable to their profession and could be very technical, like an engineer or something like that. Could be very technical, very detail-oriented, very mechanical, things like that. And so there's a there's a benefit in all that, you know. So I feel like from this, like anyone who has Atmakaraka in the second house will get paid very well for what they do. And so then we have Mercury. So Mercury, as the Atmakaraka in the second house, Mercury represents intelligence, communication, teaching, learning, traveling, writing, and speaking. And so that, you know, that kind of third house energy in the second house. Yeah, you would want to, like, you would be a financial analyst with this position. Definitely, like, this is the kind of stuff that a financial analyst has. Also, you know, a stockbroker, communication, trading, you know, that quick back and forth, that's Mercury. That stock trading and things like that, day trading, that quick fluctuation in the markets, making money, analyzing things, and having a sharp mind for that definitely. That's Mercury in the second house. Mercury's intelligence to earn more money, and you know, you could even have knowledge about like long-term things, long-term goals. So yeah, there's a deep understanding of like money there, and like a need to understand it, and a need to kind of like learn it by kind of doing it, learn it by trading, learn it by actually taking some risks, you know. So these people could do very well in business as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial analyst or stock trading. It could be, you know, any business that they start. If you have this placement, start a business, you know, do whatever you feel drawn to do, and just do it to the best of your ability, you know. So yeah, you have the power with this. Basically it kind of indicates that you have the power to use your mind to basically bring income to you. So that's a great thing. Alright, and then we have Jupiter. So if Jupiter is your Atmakaraka in the second house, yeah, you can just imagine. I mean, Jupiter is expansion. Jupiter is, you know, healing. So Jupiter represents spirituality, spiritual teacher, guru, expansion, tolerance, healing, philosophy, virtue, travel, truth, wisdom. So Jupiter has the power to expand your second house, which means expand assets, expand your inheritance, your wealth, things like that. Investing, you know, can expand that. So yeah. Then we have, yeah, so Jupiter here. I mean, it's just like the luck, you know. You'll have good financial luck, and you'll, you know, whatever life brings you, like, you know, maybe you in desperate need of a career or whatever, like, you can find a career very quickly. You can start earning an income very quickly. You know, Jupiter is very lucky, so him being in your second house, you'll have no problem with money or anything like that, for the most part. Of course, I mean, take everything I say with with a grain of salt, because, you know, some other planetary aspects can be, you know, causing difficulties and whatnot. But this is just one piece of the puzzle. Alright, and then we have Venus. Venus in the second house as your Atmakarka. Again, what a huge blessing and benefit. Venus in the second house is very happy here. She wants to bring you love and luxury and beautiful things for yourself, and so yeah, I mean, Venus as in the second house as Atmakarka, you know, your eye might go towards being an artist, being like an actor, being involved in some kind of beauty or art or creativity, creative thing, creative endeavor. Even building a business can be, you know, creativity for you. Kind of seeing, like, what can I do, you know? What do I have talent at? And so Venus in the second house as your Atmakarka. First of all, Venus as your Atmakarka can bring you amazing talents in, like, art, beauty, you know, music, writing, singing, songwriting, all kinds of areas. So that's great. And then we have Saturn. So Saturn here in the second house as your Atmakarka. Saturn here can actually take some wealth from you, or like delay that wealth. You know, Atmakarka in the second house is guaranteed, pretty much guaranteed wealth. However, with Saturn, it's like, no, we're not gonna just make it that easy for you. You gotta learn a lesson. You gotta go through life experiences. You gotta go through trials and tribulations, and then, you know, when you hit maturity, you'll, you know, at like 35 or 40, you'll start to increase your wealth and your inheritance and things like that. So, and your stored wealth. But Saturn makes you work very hard for it. So Saturn is like, okay, learn how to manage your money, learn how to organize, learn how to be disciplined with your money, learn how to not spend it frivolously, learn how to be frugal, learn how to save every penny that you can. And he'll do that by restricting wealth, or just not giving it to you until you've learned valuable lessons about money. Another thing with Saturn here, like, all these planets are great for relations with family. With Saturn here, it kind of takes family away from you, so you might lose some family members at a very young age, or things like that. You might have to, I don't know, it just like brings you heavy, hard lessons about life at a young age, and so there's, you know, it can kind of cause a bit of a hardship when it comes to your relationship with your family and things like that. Maybe they're not supportive, maybe they're not the most conscious or kind people in existence, so yeah, it's just like that hardship. So, you know, everybody goes through it. Like, there's I know I've gone through that, but yeah, it's rough. It's not easy. But, you know, it does, you know, Saturn being the boss really does show that, like, you can earn a ton of money from your work. And the more proficient and skilled you get at your certain field, then the more that you're going to have to, you know, the more that you'll get paid, basically. The more resources you'll have, so. And then we have Rahu. So Rahu is unfulfilled desires, addiction, gambling, cheating, the occult secrets, secrets and tricks, being a trickster. So Rahu will say, oh, I don't have enough money in the second house as the Atmakaraka. He will he will be like Bernie Madoff, you know, or like what's that other guy? Basically creating schemes and scandal, like schemes, pyramid schemes to trick people out of their money and to give that to them. So to you, so yeah, Rahu is like, you know, I really don't have enough money, and I like being like Scrooge McDuck. Like, yeah, being just frugal with every penny and just kind of, well, I shouldn't say that. Rahu is very spendy, so Rahu like will think that he'll be like a millionaire, and he'll be like, damn, I really want to be a billionaire. So, and he'll, you know, spend it on luxury and all kinds of stuff, but it's really that smart, keen eye for how he can get more money. He's really looking after that. He really wants to hone into those opportunities to make a quick buck. You know, opportunities. He's very opportunistic. He will, if there's no opportunity to make money, he will make his own. He can literally create his own business. And so you can find entrepreneurs with this placement, for sure. So it just kind of, you know, you have that feeling that there's not enough, that you need to steal, cheat, beg, borrow, you know, manipulate to get money, which isn't true. There's plenty to go around. You just gotta provide a service that people want, and they'll be willing to pay for it. So, Rahu can also lie to his family in the second house. He can be a liar, he can be mischievous, he can be manipulative. This goes along with like manipulating your siblings to get inheritance and things like that. You know, it's just, it's, you know, just, if you have Rahu as your Atmakaraka, just be careful, okay? That's all I'm saying, like, you know, it can be pretty rough, so, anyway, guys, well, that is all I have for today, so, I will end it there, and, if you have not already, you should go get my book. It's called Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology by yours truly, and it is available now on Amazon, so you can check that out over there. And you can go to my website, getbotheshaman.com, to pick it up and leave a Amazon review. Please leave an honest review of what you think of my book. So, alright, so I do have Qigong courses. I do have, basically a course that teaches you Qigong as well as Kundalini Yoga. And when you start implementing those spiritual practices, you'll find that your life gets better. Maybe not in the way that you were imagining, but it does get better. There's just more peace, more serenity. Life is a lot smoother when you're meditating and doing energy work, so I would highly recommend that. As well as I have my astrology certification course. You can check that out. And when you get the astrology certification course and you take that test, the certification exam, and you pass that test, you'll actually get your own website from me. So it's a really good way to to actually start as an astrologer. You don't need to know everything about astrology to start, but you just need to know like a system. So that's what I teach you. So then we have the astrology readings. So I do offer astrology readings. I offer a very unique style of astrology readings, so if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Not many people can actually prescribe a mantra, so if you're looking for like a spiritual practice or something to get closer to your soul, your spiritual higher self, things like that, then I would recommend an astrology reading because it's just very easy to get a mantra for you. So, and then we have the birth time rectifications. So I do offer a birth time rectification service. So if you don't know your exact birth time, it's good to have that. That'll basically give you kind of a time frame to work with. I try to get my I try to get the time down to the span of a minute. Sometimes I'm not able to do that, but other times I am. So yeah, it's just a matter of putting the work in and things like that. So if you want me to do that for you, you can go to my website, gilbotheshaman.com, and we'll see you there. You can book that there and learn more. And then we have the rune readings. So I do offer rune readings. That's basically part of the things I offer, and that just kind of tells you about your past, your past, your present, your future. What are the things that are going on in your life and what's happening. So yeah, that's the rune reading. And then we have the career coaching and life coaching. So yeah, that's also available, as well as the trauma healing course. So that's called the emotional awareness course. That's trauma healing course. So in addition, we also have the distance energy healing sessions. So that's like a 1 hour session where I focus on you specifically, and I send you some healing energy, some Reiki energy, and it's I give you a meditation, a guided meditation in there, and it's very healing, very transforming. So if you need that, then I would highly recommend that you go check that out and read about it on my website. So guys, that's all I have for today, and we will talk to you next time. Go check out my website, gilbotheshaman.com, and we will see you then. Peace.